Okay, it looks like we're live. Hey, I'm Lise Colucci, and I am one of the life coaches over at QueenBeeing.com. Check us out over there if you need any help with anything related to dealing with a narcissist in your life. So, today I just want to talk real quick about, can a narcissist change? Can they become healthy in a relationship? Can they be different? Can it be better? Are you waiting around and hoping that they'll make a change? Have you left them, or have they discarded you and you are sitting there hoping and wondering if it can be different, if they can change, if therapy will help them, if anything will help them to see what they do so that they'll stop what they're doing? So, I could just sum this up and make this a really quick video and say no, but that's not the answer. Okay. So before we go on, as I let people come in here, I realized I did not announce this. This is again one of my impromptu chats here with you guys. But again, if you need help with anything, head over to queenbeeing.com. Lots of info over there, lots of resources to help you, lots of areas to find support and support groups. And if you need anything coaching or group coaching wise, check it out in the links in the main description of every video. You can find me there if you need it. So, can they change? Well, no, they can't change. Okay. Someone without empathy isn't going to gain empathy. But the other answer is yes. Yes, they can change. They don't change in the sense of becoming healthy in a relationship. What they do is they change the behaviors. They can learn which behaviors get negative responses. They can learn which behaviors get them discarded, right? Get them having them be left, who won't win you back. They can learn through watching your behaviors or through going to therapy and learning that their behaviors don't serve relationships, meaning to them doesn't keep supply in their life. And they can learn to shift that behavior into something else. For instance, if I've heard of narcissistic people being very temperamental, throwing things, not so much physically abusive, but lashing out, yelling, throwing things, temper tantrum stuff, right? And going to therapy and learning that that's not how to behave. So learning behavioral modification techniques to change that. But what happens is that rage and temper gets displaced into something else. They become more covert, more manipulative, more apt to do things that will emotionally hurt you. Right. So the thing is, somebody that is lacking empathy in their brain only thinks of the world as it relates to what they need, want, feel, or believe. Right. And remember that they are living in a delusional state of their inflated ego being the most important thing in the world, and that they need other people around them to prove that their delusional thinking about themselves is real. And so they put you in a position to be what what they need you to be. And you can't change from that position. You have to be that thing, or else the devaluing starts. The devaluing will happen anyway. But what I'm trying to get at is all of that's going to stay in place. That's always going to be there. That sort of need to satisfy their own ego, the need to satisfy their own delusional belief about themselves, their inflated self-worth, all of that's always going to be there. Their need for supply is going to be there. So what they can change is some of the exterior ways in which they operate toward people. That doesn't make it healthy for you. What it makes it is often either more covert or more overt. So it can switch. So they can take and say, like, for instance, I was told, I learned that if so I told my ex-narcissistic person that if they were giving me the silent treatment, that's actually kind of like physical abuse, because it hurts me physically. Like, it literally, in my brain starts firing in the areas that pain fires, because that's true. Okay. They didn't believe me. That's not true. You're making that up. It's ridiculous. So of course they Googled it, and of course it's true, right? They never did it again. Never gave the silent treatment again. Instead, they would give stern stares for like 30, 40 seconds, and then monologue endlessly, until I was so tired I wished they would be quiet. So yeah, did they change? They sure did change. They changed a behavior, never did it again. They had that much will to change a behavior because they didn't want to be accused of being an abuser. So they could maintain their delusion that they are perfectly healthy in a relationship by stopping the abusive behavior, the real abusive behavior, and doing something they claim isn't abusive, which is gaslighting, word salad, monologuing, all that stuff. So yeah. Highly sensitive Wookie. Hello. Life sometimes becomes a game of mental twister. Yep. Yeah, and yep. Hi, I'm thankful for you as well. I'm glad to see you in here. And I apologize for not sending. I'm having trouble with my notifications, so I didn't waste time today and I just came on. I'll figure it out. I don't know what's going on, but something is. Okay. So I'm going to keep this sort of short today, and there's only a few of us here right now, so I don't expect a whole lot of questions. But if you have any, go ahead and ask. It doesn't have to be related to this topic. The reason I'm doing this is because so many people come to me, come to other people, post in groups, things like that, about really feeling trauma bonded and really feeling like they're just holding out, like their emotional life, right? So their mind knows what's going on, they're learning what's going on, but their emotions are really, really, really hoping that this could be the unicorn. This could be the magical person that isn't really a narcissist and will make a change. And what most people find is that when they see a change, it's exactly as I'm saying. They change, sure, into something worse or something more hidden or something more discreet, or even they may change, like once they know you know how they are, they may change in that they don't try to hide things anymore. And it gets more overt and more painful on that, in that way, because you're looking right at it. So, sitting around and hoping for change in another person who is showing narcissistic traits to the point where you're believing they might be a narcissist is probably not going to get you anything other than more pain and more hurt and disappointment and a waste of your time and your life, right? Okay, so hey, I'm gonna actually just move over here a second, open this door, and send them. Almost fall out of the chair. Okay, so change. Anything you've got, you guys who are here, anything you have experienced? Have you seen a narcissist make a change? Do they get better? Sometimes they will have long honeymoon periods where they do get better. They start treating you better. They start love bombing you all over again. And that can last sometimes for even a few years, for a long period of time. Often, though, what's found out is they're living a double life. They're either cheating or they are doing stuff with money that's really wrong and horrible for the relationship, or they're doing something, right? And they're wearing a mask of niceness around you. So you can't expect somebody whose brain is not wired for empathy to grow any. And it really does require the ability to have self-awareness to make a change. Think about how hard it is to make a change in your own life, and how no matter how bad you want it and how much you try and how hard you work at it and all that, and it's so slow. If you ever met up with people you've known, like if you're older like me and you've met up with people you've known in high school and they're exactly the same, of course things have changed. Of course they've matured, or this has happened or that happened, but essentially they're kind of the same. That's how I look at it. These sitting around and waiting and wasting your life waiting for somebody to make a change when what they're doing is harmful to you, hurtful to you, damaging to you is it's really trauma bonding. It isn't hope. Does that make sense? All right, what are we saying? How do you explain this to children, including adult children? Explain which part? The whole thing? Give me a more specific, and I'll try to give you a better answer. You call out one issue and they get sneakier or switch to another way to mess with your head. Exactly, Sonny. That's exactly what happens. Or they learn, or they go to therapists, okay, and they learn about all this, about things like healthy communication, what gaslighting is, what, the basics, right? They learn how to communicate in a non-aggressive, compassionate way. So they learn the words. I can remember he used to say, that must be really hard. Like, 0 empathy, not like, "Oh, that must be hard," or like or even just a little empathy of like, "Huh, must be hard." Not even a consideration, not even faking empathy, just, "Oh, that must be really hard." And I was like, "Are you a robot? Why do you say that like that? That's so weird. Stop it." Don't even say that because it doesn't sound so creepy and fake, but really, he learned it because his ex-wife made him do nonviolent communication training. And so he learned all the proper terms. So what I'm saying is sometimes they go to a therapist or learn about communication, and so they learn the words and they'll throw them back at you. And then they'll say, "What? I did show you empathy. I asked the words." Yeah, they don't care, right? So that's not change. That's just behavioral shifting, right? Um, 10 years of empty promises. That's yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it. Like I'm trying to say here, I know there's a lot of self-proclaimed narcissists out there talking about how they can change and they can get better and da da da. The horse's mouth, you guys. Who's saying it? Either someone living with them in denial or them. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I haven't seen science prove it. I haven't heard it in the therapeutic world of it being possible, and I haven't seen it with my own eyes. So I don't know. I think the answer is if it's possible, maybe it's a slim chance, but do you want to spend your whole life not only waiting around? That'd be one thing. Sitting around waiting, that's one thing. Sitting around being manipulated, gaslighted, projected on, lied to, cheated on, all the stuff they do. Do you want to live your life with that while you wait in hopes of somebody who's got no empathy to make a change? You know? You caught the live stream late, but this is my question recently. Oh, okay. I cannot stop wondering if this, and if it was me. My kid's father says the new supply inspires him. Okay, let's go on to that. Why do they change for new supply? Why? Because they all do it. Because they're mirroring that person in order to groom them. Okay? Of course she's perfect. It could last years. It could last you're only going to see it from the outside. So he's going to tell you what he wants you to believe because now you're wrapped up in a new delusion with him. His delusion of this perfect relationship he's got over here. All right? So he's going to tell you what he wants you to believe, and you who's hurt, wounded and all of that are going to listen, and it's going to mess with your head. So don't listen to what he's saying because remember, out of his mouth comes nothing but lies. Okay. So even if you see it on social media or friends say they're doing great or whatever, you've got to remember that that person, he is not going to change. He's going to be in relationship over and over and over again, kind of the same way. It will look different because she's different or he's different. Not it'll look different because this new supply is different, whether they're male or female. Okay. So is that making sense? They change their likes, they change their pastimes, they change their hobbies, they change their preferences. They may listen to different music, they may wear all new clothes. It's everybody does that a little bit when we meet someone because that's part of the fun of new people, right? You get new experiences, so picture that blown up to the point where you want to believe you are the thing that person sees as an ideal mate. Does that make sense? He's what he's doing with her is projecting onto her the image he wants her to believe he is for now. Okay? And she's believing it, so everything's fantastic. And that can go on, like I said, a long time, depending on the way two people are together. When the bubble bursts, that person's going to fall twice as hard if it lasts a long time, right? So that's what it is. I hope that made sense. How do we stop the breadcrumbing? You stop engaging. You don't believe it. The breadcrumbing feels good. They give you nothing and then they give you everything you ever wanted all in the same breath. Super confusing. You stop engaging and you see it for what it is. I'm not gonna. It's like if I was like, hi. On the inside, you got to hear them saying, hi, do this. I'll be your best friend. And really, they got a knife behind their back, right? That's what it is. That's you have to see it for what it is and stop engaging because engaging in it, even to say, don't breadcrumb me, don't lie to me, is engaging. And engaging reinstates those trauma bonds. It keeps the relationship alive. All right. So to end it, we have to step out of it. All right. Nope. Nobody. Nope. 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 I already spent 2 decades trying to help my abuser learn how to not hurt me. No more. Yep. They mirror the source of supply. They mirror you even more. That's right. That is right. Yeah, I know those robotic responses, super creepy, aren't they? Because it's not like you learn something new. I'm not even going to go into it. It's yucky. So highly sensitive bookie, you asked how to explain this to children. Do you mean did I miss something? Let me see. Do you mean how to explain this topic to children or how to explain that this person can't change or how to explain narcissism in general to children? Because those are both good questions. All right. Anyway, so yeah, that is the gist of what I wanted to say today. I'm going to have to go in like 5 minutes here. So if you have anything else, let me know. Um, but yeah, the changes, remember, they are smoke and mirrors. Is what it is. It's not real change. Okay. It lasted 8 years with you lasted 8 years with him. Okay. She is in it now for 4 years now with him, and she celebrated the other day on social media. She calls herself stepmother to my kids, and they portray a happy family. That's what you're gonna see, and that's what you're gonna see, and, it really depends on her. Um, we don't see you know how it is. Everyone thought you were a happy couple. I have people say that all the time to me. They come and say, "I don't know how I can get out of this. Everyone around us thinks we're perfect. No one's gonna believe me." We can't go by what we see on the outside when we're looking at new supply. Oh, you posted more up above. Oh gosh, this you if even though it's a short bit to scroll, you have to understand it. When we're on here, we're a little confused. Let's see. Where? I don't see it. I wonder if it didn't come through on my end. I don't see. I say, how do you explain it to children? And then a bunch of other people talking. And then you said, nope, nope, nope. And I don't see it. Hmm, I don't see it. I'm sorry. So, um, explaining narcissism in general to children, I don't think it depends who the narcissist is in the child's life. You speak to them at the age appropriate level that they're at. Um, and I explain the behaviors by asking how that makes them feel when that happens. So, say if it's a father or a mother, I might say, "Huh, what does that make you feel when your mom does that?" And I talk about it on the terms of how it relates to them, so they have a chance to, kind of like I would with anyone. Well, I mean, it's hard because I coach people, right? But I kind of do it like that, and then manipulating the narrative is what you're saying. Okay. I don't know why I don't see that. It's really weird. It's missing something in the chat for me. Manipulating the narrative. How do you talk to children about how they manipulate the narrative? You ask them what their truth is. What did they experience? What did they see? How do they think about it? This is what I do when I'm around a child whose parent is narcissistic. I ask them, "Well, what do you think? What do you think's going on? Or what do you think happened? Or what do you know what I'm saying? Like, how did you see it? Or, well, does that make any sense? Would this have happened and then that happen? Or does that sound like somebody's trying to make you believe something? And if so, What do you believe? And it really depends on the age of the kid. With a teenager, I might get a little more detailed and say, they usually by then start to figure it out. And like, I'm talking really general because I don't know the actual age or question or anything. And I, for some reason, can't see what you wrote. I don't know why. So I'll leave it at that. And that's a good topic, how to talk to children about what's going on when they have a narcissist in their life. I think I will do that later this week. Yeah, that's a good topic. He's painting himself a victim to our child. Oh, yeah. hmm So when they say things like, why don't you like daddy? Daddy says you don't like him. Daddy says no one likes him. Everyone's upset with him. He doesn't know why. You say, I have my personal feelings for your dad. We had a hard relationship. How do you feel about dad? How do you feel about, does it upset you that I have a hard relationship with your dad? And and then you say some people, I could feel, does that make sense? Like I feel sad too that your dad seems to not like me as well. Grown-ups have a hard time sometimes when things end. It depends on the age though. A teenager, you might be like, and just look at them and they go, yeah, I know. Right? Because they're getting the same thing happening to them. So sometimes it's not less words is more words. And it really depends on the child. If the child is angry at you for, making daddy the victim or mommy the victim, then that'd be a different conversation too. So it really depends what's being said. Anyway, I guess that's it for today, you guys. Consider when you're trauma bonded that that's where you're at, and that your head and your logic needs to take a front seat sometimes when you're trauma bonded, to find ways to help your heart catch up to it. And taking away hope that narcissist will change, hopefully. I hate to be the bearer of hope bursting bubbles, but place the hope in your own life. Place the hope in places where things can make change. The hope you can have when you're trauma bonded and trying to let go, knowing you should let go, hoping that person will change, is placing the hope in what a life would look like without toxic people in it. Because there's a ton there, and that you can place hope and dreams and wishes in better directions for yourself, right? All right, you guys, if you need anything, you know where to find me down in the main description of every video. There's links to group coaching, there's links to coaching, there's links to my email. You can always leave me a message in the comments. I try to get to answering them quickly. And if you have anything you want to talk about, I'm always here. You can always add it to the chat or ask in a comment. So I will, yes, share more and tag me so that I see it. Okay. Share more in the group and then tag me so I see it. And then if you want me to talk about it more here, like in general, not your specifics, of course, but we can do that. Okay. So that's it. I'll see you guys later this week. Take care. Bye-bye.